RuPaul does this thing whenever she shows something to camera. She always does this. And on my season of Drag Race, she was wearing these acrylic nails because she normally would like do press on, but she was wearing acrylics the whole time. And I just remember her always going.
And we're going to talk about all that today and Bob's new book. The single out now, it's on Mashable's website for Harriet Tubman live in concert. I'm curious how the concept for this came up.
I love historical fiction. It's this idea of like you take an event or a person that actually happened and then you just make up stuff. Like Titanic is historical fiction.
Yeah.
Rose was not on the Titanic, not that I know of anyway. But they made up this woman, put her on the Titanic, and then did the story. So I was reading a historical fiction piece called The Good Lord Bird by James McBride. My partner's mom recommended it actually. She was like, it's a good book. And I could not put the book down. It was so good. It's about John Brown, who makes gets a brief mention in my book, this insane abolitionist, and how he kidnapped this little boy. But John Brown thought he was a girl. So this little boy has to live as a girl for years, even through his puberty. And he's kind of like nervous. It's so absurd. I love this absurd notion put onto an actual real life event. So then I was like, I've always had an obsession with Harriet Tubman. I think she's just my favorite person who I think has ever roamed the earth. Her story is just so remarkable. The more you hear about her story, the more you're like, this can't be real. Yeah. Like you literally like, there's no way this happened. But then there are so many historians who are corroborating these stories and they're just like, no, this happened, it's real. Like these things really, really did happen. She is that phenomenal. And I blend the two things I love. I love hip hop and I love Harriet Tubman. So I was like, I remember thinking, and Harriet Tubman actually did use music in her work. So it wouldn't be too far-fetched to imagine that if Harriet Tubman were working today, she would, like, you know, as an abolitionist today, she would not be using music in her work. And what better way to reach people than one of the most popular music forms to ever come out of America, which is hip hop and rap.
100%.
Yeah.
I listened to the audiobook, which I found really engaging. One, because you do the performance.
Yes.
And you have, I mean, like, you know, obviously you have a great voice, like we've established.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I fumble a little bit.
I listen to a lot of audiobooks and I get very annoyed where certain people speak in a specific cadence no matter what is happening in the story. And it honestly makes it very hard for me to, like, as a reader, engage. Yeah. You don't do that. Like,
well, I'm an actor. I mean, I didn't go to school for acting. I didn't graduate, but I went. I'm really proud of it. It took me 4 years to write this book, which is kind of crazy. From the time I got the offer to the time I said the final words on the audiobook, it had been a 5-year process.
I mean, honestly, I think that makes sense because I feel like, one, it's clear there's a lot of research into Harriet Tubman and what else was going on with the abolitionists at the time. But then on top of that, I'm curious what the challenge is because I will be honest, I watch more biopics than I read historical fiction or biographies, though I do enjoy both, and autobiographies and a memoir, I love it. But within a biography, when you're telling someone else's story, a lot of filmmakers tend to be so respectful that it's kind of suffocating. What I appreciate about the book is it reveres Harriet, but it doesn't make like a clown of her or something, but it also tells us parts of her story that were certainly not things I was taught in school, that kind of complicates our portrait of her in a way I think makes her more human and makes it more like, if she could accomplish this, why can't you be taking on bigger challenges?
Oh yeah, if Harriet Tubman can take 13 trips from Maryland to Philadelphia, well, about 6 to Maryland, and then about 6 to Philadelphia, and about 6 more to Canada. If she can lead a military raid, if she can found a home for formerly enslaved people, if she can become a cook, a seamstress, a community builder, all of that while being disabled, a black woman in not the segregated South, but in American chattel slavery South, 4'11", then I think you can probably get up and make it to work on time today.
Right. Another thing I thought was so interesting is that, like, because the Darnell's perspective is coming in about talking about the like music industry, and there's a part where he talks about how it's surreal to him that like Harriet Tubman likes his music. I was curious how much of your own experiences in entertainment, in making music, like fed into creating Darnell.
So I started making music. I started writing music like by myself in my bedroom when I was doing drag in New York City. I would write these songs. I think my first song was called Big Bitch. That was about me just being a big tall lady up in drags. And then but I started releasing music after Drag Race. My friend Mitch Freeman helped me release this song called Purse Furs. And I had written quite a few songs after that. And I've always loved like rapping and writing lyrics. And I used to do like battle rap in high school, in the school courtyard. I had a pretty good reputation for it too. I've always had like a love for like lyricism. And then I liked the idea of writing from other perspectives, which is why I wanted to write as Harriet Tubman, like write from Harriet. And honestly, the truth, I'm really writing from my own perspective.
Yeah.
Like in like a Harriet facade. Like it's
Sure.
truly, I mean, for all I know, Harriet Tubman would love hip hop. She might be like, I'm a jazz girly. She might like Chappell Roan. She might be into Sabrina Carpenter. I don't know what she would be into. She might be like, I'm more of a Dolly Parton type. I have no clue what she would like. So I have to create the narrative in my own mind. Yeah.
Anything else you want to tell people about your book or your next show?
Listen, if you want to get my book, go to readthedragqueen.com. People always ask me, what's the best place to get the book to like support you, where you make the most money? I get the question all the time. Honestly, the TikTok shop. If you go to my TikTok, click the first couple of videos. You can click buy it right there on the TikTok shop. And if you get the audiobook, there are 2 original songs in the audiobook. 2 original songs included in the audiobook. And yes, I am reading the book myself. So you can go to readthedragqueen.com to get a copy of my book.
I love that.